Hey Formula One fans, there's some controversy brewing. Helmut Marko just dropped a bomb and made it clear who he thinks is the best driver duo of the season. Spoiler alert, it's not the Red Bull pair. The tide is turning, and the second driver in the Austrian team is walking on thin ice. And that's not all. The pressure's mounting. Toto Wolff came out and admitted a fear that made Mercedes act with maximum urgency. Hamilton's replacement has left everyone scratching their heads, but the team might be hiding something more. The Formula One news is buzzing, so don't waste time. Subscribe to the channel to stay on top of all the latest Formula One updates. Just hit that subscribe button below the video. It's quick, free, and you don't need to sign up for anything. This is F1 Fastline News, your go-to channel for daily Formula One updates. Let's get straight to it. Let's kick things off with a topic that's shaking up the paddock. Helmut Marko's recent statement comparing the McLaren duo to the Red Bull drivers. And folks, when Marko speaks, he doesn't hold back. According to the Red Bull advisor, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri's partnership is currently definitely stronger than what Red Bull has on the table. Yes, you heard that right. Marko has Perez in his sights again, stirring up more debate about the Mexican's ability to keep up with his teammate Max Verstappen. But let's think about it for a second. Does Marko's claim hold water? Let's look at the facts. McLaren has made a stunning leap this season. They're quick on every track, with any tire, and in every weather condition. This consistency has pushed the Woking-based team up to third in the constructors' standings, with a relatively comfortable 41-point lead over Red Bull. And even though Max is dominating the Drivers' Championship, McLaren's form seems to be worrying the folks in Milton Keynes. This raises a crucial question. What's going on with Red Bull? The team's current car, the RB20, has faced development issues, and the only saving grace so far has been Verstappen's ability to extract the maximum out of it, even in tough situations. Red Bull's performance was subpar in Singapore, a track that's never really suited their car. But, interestingly, Max managed to convert a P2 in qualifying and hold on to it during the race, showing that the car's potential is still there, it just needs to be unlocked. On the flip side, what really calls Red Bull's performance into question is the gap between Verstappen and Perez. While Max has kept a 52-point lead over Lando Norris, Perez has shown inconsistency, failing to deliver in key moments for the team. And this brings up another question. Is Perez really fit for a top team like Red Bull? Marko was straightforward in saying that he expects McLaren to maintain their lead and possibly even widen the gap in the Constructors' Championship. He sees McLaren as a team that can adapt to any scenario, and more importantly, with two drivers who consistently deliver results, something Red Bull right now can only count on with Verstappen. And let's be honest, relying on just one driver when you're up against powerhouses like McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari can be a recipe for disaster. Now, when it comes to rivalry, the Max factor is still giving Red Bull some hope. Marko highlighted that if the teams end up in a genuine four-way battle, Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari, Verstappen could be the difference maker. With similarly performing cars, Verstappen's skill can tip the scales. And that, my friends, is something nobody can underestimate. Let's not forget that McLaren isn't free from challenges either. They have a highly competitive car, but they're still a team working their way back to the top. Norris is doing a phenomenal job, but fighting for the championship is new territory for him. As for Piastri, despite his undeniable talent, he's still in his rookie season, and no matter how impressive he's been, inexperience could become a decisive factor in the final races. Red Bull, on the other hand, needs to address the RB20's aerodynamic and balance issues if they want to stay competitive. With 6 races left, anything can still happen. The United States circuit is a track where Red Bull has historically performed well, and expectations are that the RB20 will fare better there than on tracks like Singapore. But if McLaren keeps improving at such an impressive pace, the battle is going to be fierce. So where does that leave us? With his usual provocative comments, Helmut Marko has given us a lot to think about. McLaren is a serious threat right now, and if they keep this up, they could very well end the season as the team to beat, leaving Red Bull in a tough spot. Shifting gears, you've probably seen it right here on our channel. Lewis Hamilton is leaving Mercedes, and the team has already chosen his replacement for 2025. And who's the chosen one? Kimi Antonelli, a young talent who's just 18 years old. Toto Wolff's decision to promote a rookie straight to the main team raises some interesting questions. Why didn't they send him to Williams first, like they did with George Russell, before giving him the spot alongside Russell at Mercedes? Well, Wolff made it clear the idea is to avoid Antonelli from picking up different behaviors. In other words, Toto Wolff wants to shape Antonelli under Mercedes' way of working right from the get-go. According to him, the team is entering a new era, and nothing will be the same as before. Hamilton's departure, heading to Ferrari in search of new challenges, leaves a huge gap in the team. But instead of looking for an experienced driver to fill that space, Wolff has decided to take a gamble on new blood. It's a bold move, especially when you consider that Antonelli's experience in Formula One is limited to just a few laps and free practice sessions. Of course, betting on youth is nothing new for Mercedes. George Russell is proof that this strategy can work. However, Antonelli's debut in Monza has already shown that this transition won't be easy at all. During FP1, he lost control of the car and crashed into one of the barriers with a 52G impact. It was a rookie mistake, but one that was somewhat expected. Antonelli then took responsibility for the incident, admitting that he pushed the car too hard. It might be a sign of maturity, but will it be enough to handle the pressure of replacing an icon like Hamilton? By promoting Antonelli straight to the main team, Mercedes is moving away from its more conservative driver development strategy. When Russell went to Williams, the idea was to groom him for the ultimate jump to Mercedes. But Toto Wolff wants to avoid Antonelli contaminating his driving style with experiences and philosophies from other teams. That's why he prefers Antonelli to learn Mercedes' DNA from day one, even if that means facing the growing pains directly within the main team. So what does this mean for Mercedes' future? The team is clearly going through a transitional period. Wolff admitted that nothing will be the same after Hamilton's departure. Russell, who's already proven to be an exceptional talent, now takes on a more defined leadership role. He'll have the responsibility of leading the team alongside an inexperienced teammate. Will it work out? Or will we see Mercedes stumble like other teams that have gambled too much on young talents? Another crucial point is the pressure Antonelli will face from the start. Mercedes is not at its peak. In recent seasons, consistency has been a problem. While Hamilton managed to secure significant wins at the British Grand Prix and in Belgium, the W15 is still an unpredictable car. If the performance doesn't improve, Antonelli could find himself in a tricky position, trying to prove his worth in a car that's not delivering its full potential. For Toto Wolff, this is a long-term bet. The Mercedes boss believes the time for nurturing drivers in smaller teams is over. He wants to shape Antonelli into the image of Mercedes and perhaps build a new dominant talent for the next decade. But is Antonelli ready for this responsibility? Being alongside a competitive driver like Russell will be a challenge in itself. The big question is Mercedes making the right move by bringing Antonelli straight into the main team? Or will the pressure and lack of experience turn out to be a problem for the young driver? The 2025 season is already shaping up to be full of uncertainties, and the new pairing of Russell and Antonelli will be one of the most exciting storylines to watch. So what do you think? Is Antonelli ready to step in and replace a legend like Hamilton? Or is Mercedes taking an unnecessary risk? And will Sergio Perez be able to step up and prove he deserves his spot at Red Bull? The pressure is rising, and the Mexican needs to react quickly. Leave your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what you think. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Here we talk about Formula One with no frills, strong opinions, and tons of info. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and come be part of this passionate F1 community. If you like this video, drop a like and share it with your fellow Formula One fans. Let's grow this F1 community together. See you next time, speeding towards victory.